Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah!
Yeah!
We got it! We got
New 52 booklet.
it! Somebody clip this one.
Welcome to Justice League Rewatch. I am Jared. I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, brother?
You know, I'm wondering, what is a good war?
Or what is the good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Huh. So before we get
You tied into that so well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Before we get into this and start talking about Hawk and Dove, I just want to remind you guys to like, comment, subscribe to the show. It's been growing really well, and I really appreciate it. Become a member if you guys want to support the show, and you get a bunch of perks like indie comic reviews early, as well as members exclusive content. What's up, Nick?
Can you remind them of what's going to happen when you hit 1,000 subs?
Oh yeah, when I hit 1,000 subs, I have to do a stream talking about the advantages of Wonder Bat. So if you guys
please sub to this guy, get him within 1,000.
Well, actually,
I want to see
the
this.
way I'm going to structure this is that I'm going to give them merits, which is going to be that's going to be the shortest part of the episode because there are none.
No,
and then
no, it's going to be an hour-long stream.
episode
For a half hour. You have to talk good, and then the other half you can talk crap.
Yeah, and then I'm going to completely tear it apart like the bad Bruce Timm idea it is. Yes, I will continue to do that.
So if you remember, like the April Fool's stream we did, where like I had that heel turn for Captain Marvel, that is nothing. That is nothing compared to what Jared is gonna do. He'll be all sweet and he'll be all nice, and all of a sudden, murderous intent.
Yes, exactly. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, we're talking about Hawk and Dove. Now, first off, I just want to bring up who are Hawk and Dove. Hawk and Dove are two superheroes that are supposed to represent conflict and peace. That's why the Hawk character is normally the most pugnacious, like aggressive, brute character, and the Dove is the more like peaceful one. And actually, what's kind of funny, Nick, this is before Dawn was Dove, as in the Titans character.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up because like I'm used to the Titans incarnation. Like I was aware of like Hawk and Dove were like male and female kind of thing. I mean male and male before this, but like, and they only became like more relationship stuff afterwards. But yeah, I'd actually like seen kind of clips of this episode, so like I was aware of it. But it's still weird because I'm used to the Titans incarnation.
Now, let me ask you this, Nick, and this has been a common, like, I don't know if it's a criticism, but it's just a point you brought up in the last two episodes. Did this feel like an unlimited episode as opposed to a just general Justice League episode?
No, this one actually felt unlimited because they actually brought in other characters. Because to me, the thing that makes unlimited is they bring in all these obscure DC characters. Even though it was like Wonder Woman and like you saw like Martian Manhunter, you got like a glimpse of the fact that you had the other characters, and this was a Hawk and Dove. It was literally called Hawk and Dove. To me, that makes it a limited episode because when you just have like the League, it just feels like a Justice League episode.
When you have the original 7, it's like, but we have 2 seasons, about two seasons of this.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like they had like a stockpile of scripts from Justice League that they couldn't or weren't able to use for whatever reason, so like they just put them in there. So I don't know.
But I will say,
probably not true, but you know,
Wonder Woman was awesome in this episode. Awesome. Like when there's the bank robbers and she's just standing in the middle of the road. She's like, I try and take a day off, but you guys won't let me.
Yes, this episode is quintessential Wonder Woman. This is like a quintessential Wonder Woman style plot line.
And honestly, here's the thing, and we have brought this up back with the episode about the with the Aresia episode. This one does the whole like political divide in the country as well as like war and peace extremely well.
Yeah, it would be too easy to have one side of Hawk and Dove, either the Hawk or the Dove, be the unbearable suffering person. But like, probably my favorite scene is when they're in the invisible jet and they're arguing. They're both raising good points. Like, they are both bringing up good, like they're both actually putting forth good arguments from their side.
Yeah, and again, we said this last season, but the thing about this is that this is back when writers were talented enough to be able to deal with these complex issues in a talented way. And that's what we have here. And I also love, you notice how like how this episode also brings in the Wonder Woman rogue of Ares, the god of war, voiced by Basil Sinclair from Austin Powers.
But
like,
Austin, it is crap.
As he says about the Eklunad Wonder Woman run. Or
no, okay, no. You need to do a meme or like where Austin is instead of the mug, he's holding up a copy of 84. I was like, oh, it's a little bit nuts.
Wait,
like,
Nick,
Austin,
Nick,
it is crap.
Nick, I got it. What I should do. Actually, I lost it. But anyway, but the point is, it's really, I recognize his voice immediately. We also see Hephaestus, which I thought that was pretty cool, and they basically call back to the fact that he made Wonder Woman's armor, except he made it for his mother. And that's a reference to the fact that Hippolyta was Wonder Woman on the Justice Society of America in the DC Comics.
Oh, I did not know that.
That's kind of, yeah, I mean, the Wonder Woman,
Mantle
mythology is confusing as hell, but that's one of the things I remember. By the way, Hawk is voiced by Fred Savage from the Wonder Years.
From Wonder Years to Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was easy. That's easy.
Fun fact, by the way, Michael York, the guy who voices Ares, he also voiced Kanto in Superman, the animated series. And Kanto is the new god.
Who's the one who voices Hawk?
Hawk is voiced by Jason Hervey.
What is he?
Actually, both actors are from the Wonder Years.
Okay,
wow.
I guarantee you that was deliberate. I guarantee.
Yeah, and they were like, let's put Wonder Woman in this. Let's make it a really wonderful episode.
I'm sorry. You do not do that kind of casting like by accident. Like, that is not an accidental casting right there.
The other thing that I really like about this is you notice how Wonder Woman is pretty much of the Hawk persuasion. She goes into a fight. In fact, even Jean has to stop her from punching a robber's face in. But then it's like she learns the lesson of this episode that diplomacy is just as valid as combat in terms of like resolving conflict.
But you know what? Like, another really good part of this episode is by the end of the episode, they're not shaking hands going kumbaya. Like, no. like the battle is not over. It's just like they're giving each other the side eye as they walk away. It's like you know, I don't like you, but just this once, we'll just both walk away. You know, and like the shooting could start in like in 20 minutes. Like, the shooting could start again. This kind of reminds me, Jared, you're gonna probably be familiar with what we're bringing up. Are you familiar with the Christmas truce in 1914?
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
In World War, okay, so for those who don't know, just preface this, I consider this to be the most beautiful moment in human history. Okay.
And by the way, this is a moment that Nick actually saw firsthand.
I did. I am a veteran of World War I. You have outed me.
But go on.
Jared, just please don't take my head for that.
But go on.
I am Connor McLeod. I was, you know, no. But no.
There can only be one, Nick.
Yes. I had to kill Kurgan, but McLeod's still out there. He wants my head. Okay, that bit's over.
Yeah.
But like, so during World War I, It's 1914, and it's Christmas, and all throughout the lines, you had a sudden stop of hostilities. You had them meeting under the white flag of truce, and various things happened. People buried bodies, but you also had people exchange gifts. You had people sing carols. You had people play football on in no man's land.
Wait. They played soccer.
To them, it was
We're
football.
recording this in America. You call it soccer. I had to be the ugly American on that.
I'm trying to be inclusive here, you D.
It's a valid sport to some people. It's just I just have to bring up about how we're recording in America. We have our own version of football, which ironically enough should not be called football, considering how little the foot touches the ball.
Do you want to know what Europeans call American football?
What?
Hand egg ball.
That's good.
Anyway, okay, we're getting way off topic
here. Soccer, and then they went back to their sides and had.
In order to please your sensitive American ego, yes,
you're an American
soccer,
too, dude. So, hot calling the kettle black.
But no, okay, yes. So, and this happened naturally. This wasn't coordinated, and this happened all throughout the lines. You know, and the next day they were shooting at each other. And I find this to be the most beautiful moment in human history, because for one day, people put aside their hostilities and celebrated Christmas. They celebrate that is a legit Christmas miracle right there. So, Jerry, you're familiar with all this, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I've read the story because, unlike you, I wasn't there, so I couldn't. So I had to read about it in a textbook.
I mean, you probably read some of my accounts. Like I did offer some accounts about 40 years later.
Oh yeah, so that explains why a lot of the accounts were written in crayon.
But it's all I had available.
Oh sure. How come other ones were actually in neat pen?
You try being locked in a mental asylum and you tell them that you're the son of Genghis Khan.
Sure. But anyway, going back to the episode, they actually play a lot with Greek mythological lore, because during the workshop scene, Ares complains that where the armor's going, things aren't supposed to be pretty, and Hephaestus quips, present company included. So what that's a reference to is that in traditional Greek mythology, Ares is portrayed as one of the handsomest gods in the Greek pantheon, while Hephaestus is portrayed as ugly, sometimes even deformed. When he carries the breastplate of the Annihilator over to the finished suit, he walks with a noticeable limp. Then, according to many myths, Hephaestus was married to Aphrodite, the goddess of love, but she preferred Ares and sometimes cheated on Hephaestus with him. And by the way, Hephaestus knew. They play off of this in the Wonder Woman comics really extensively.
Also, you notice how Hephaestus was voiced by Ed Asner?
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, beautiful man.
Mm-hmm. And the other... So, again, and this episode really, we talk about, because on Nick's channel, we do the whole Avatar rewatch. By the way, his information will be in the link below, sub to him. But anyway... We talk about how that show deals with like a lot of the costs of war and all that. This episode 100% deals with that. Case in point, that old Sun Tzu quote, "All warfare is based on deception," and you have Ares trying to manipulate both sides into annihilating each other so he can power his armor. Because again, Ares and the armor in this get their power from conflict.
Yeah, like I gotta say, like, this does actually serve as a good companion piece to the first Wonder Woman movie. Like, I was actually kind of reminded, because remember, it's actually basically the same plot almost of Ares, trying to start forever war. But like, that speech that Steve Trevor did, where like after Ares was supposedly killed, and it's like people are inherently violent or whatever. Like that's kind of the vibe I was getting in some of these scenes. Especially the one at the end I was telling you about.
Yeah, and it's, again, the shows these days knew how to teach kids very complex topics. By the way, this is a reference to, I hope you recognize the name Princess Audrey.
Feed me, Seymour.
No, she was the princess that Wonder Woman was guarding. Remember in that one episode with Vandal Savage where she breaks into the castle and Audrey has to marry him?
Yeah, because isn't the country that they go to is like
Kaznia.
a famous? Yeah, that's basically that's DC's what, Afghanistan or something?
Sarajevo, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically DC stand-in for that area, the area.
Yeah. And again, so what do you think of Hawk and Dove as two characters? I love them so much. They're so funny.
Yeah, they were really good. I feel like I said, they both represented their sides very well. It would have been very easy, especially the Dove side, to be overbearing, but I really think they balanced it really well. And like I said, when they argued, they both made really good points. I feel like they did a really good job of not overshadowing one of the other. Like, yes, in the end, Dove was right. Yes, I think that kind of needed to happen because people would naturally side with Hawk anyway.
It's the theme of the episode, so there you go.
Yeah.
But again, they didn't make Hawk sound like an idiot. They allowed both sides to be aired equally, and yeah, they both made good points. And then it allowed for even Hawk and Wonder Woman to learn a lesson that aggression maybe isn't always the best thing.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like this is something that modern writers should take note of is, yes, you can have a conflict where you have two warring sides and you have one side win without the other side being made to look like an idiot.
Yeah, you can. That's called nuanced debate, something obviously everyone on Twitter doesn't know. Dan Slott.
like obviously Dove's approach was the right one. But they didn't make Hawk look like an idiot anyway, like in the process.
What I said earlier, 100%. And let's see what else. I also like so that armor kind of reminded me of the Destroyer armor from Thor a little bit. So
I was getting those vibes.
Although technically, I wonder what came out first because maybe this is another occasion where Marvel is the house of someone else's ideas. I love how
you know what? I would not be surprised.
Fun fact also, Ares says it's a Tuesday when he visits Hephaestus' workshop. The Greeks named each of the days of the week after celestial bodies. Ares was the name given to the day of the week that will be known as Tuesday.
There's also, I wonder if this is a reference to the Street Fighter movie. You know, the day Bison Grayson graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. Like, I kind of feel like it isn't, but to me it is.
Mm-hmm. So, also, like I said before about how Michael York voiced Kanto in Superman the Animated Series, but like Ares in this episode, Kanto makes his first public appearance as a mysterious benefactor offering powerful weapons of war. I think that's kind of cool. And by the way, Bruce Timm has stated that Ron Zimmerman was hired to write this episode due to the fact that the original vision for the show was to be more of an anthology series. So in other words, that's why a lot of these episodes seem to be a little detached in terms of like they're not telling one massive story, they're just telling individual stories.
To be fair, Justice League also was very detached, so it's par for the course.
Up until I would say the last season of Justice League is when they started to lay seeds and connect everything with the whole Hawkgirl plot. But yeah, I get that. Yeah, which it's fine. It's a valid approach. That's what comic books used to be and should be because you can have long event plots, but you kind of need time to breathe.
Yeah, but that's a conversation for another.
Yeah, that would make a good episode of Comics Watch, but
it really might. So let's write that down.
Yes, exactly. So, all in all, I would say I give this episode a 10 out of 10 because of its dealing with war and it's dealing with all these complex issues. It's treating both sides with respect. And it's showing, you know, it's kind of interesting. You now have the D-listers treating an A-lister. I'm teaching an A-lister lesson because remember, Wonder Woman learns not to be so aggressive either. So they did that in an interesting way because oftentimes when there's like a new introduced character or like a D-lister and someone takes over, and they're because this episode is obviously for most part a Hawk and Dove episode. They treated Wonder Woman with respect, and that's something that's not shown nowadays to the A-listers.
Yeah, so for me, this is gonna be a rare one. I also give this a 10 out of 10 because it's beautifully written. Like I said, they represent both sides amazing. There is no flaws in this episode. It is literally a flawless episode. It executes everything perfectly. I have zero complaints about this episode. So yeah, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, me too. It's so awesome.
I told you before we recorded this was going to be a good episode.
Yeah, it's a really great one. Now I'm going to pull up Max so we can I can tease you guys as to what the next episode is, which I believe it should be a really interesting one. So in the meantime, Nick, where can one find you and what have you got coming out on your channel?
All right, so this will be coming out on Tuesday. So if you can go right to my channel right now and watch Avatar Rewatch. We just did the episode before the finale. That was a pretty good one.
No, the next episode is the one where Wonder Woman's turned into a pig. Oh, actually, no. Yes, no. Actually, wait. Yes, because this is the one where Batman says Wonder Bat's not going to happen. So, yay! I know what I'm titling.
Am I blue?
Hey, Nick. I know what I'm titling next week's episode. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm gonna have so much fun.
He says he doesn't care about Diana, but then he reveals his greatest secret for her.
Bruce, that's not his greatest secret, though.
His greatest fear or whatever.
Batman doesn't have fear.
But you know what I mean. He has to sacrifice something for Cersei, the singing.
Well, how is that a sacrifice? Batman's good at everything. He's Batman.
Well, actually, if you watch comics, thank you. You just gave me a good segue, brother. If you watch Comics Watch this Wednesday, we are going to detail how Batman is not good at everything.
Okay,
and
I have to bring this up.
Be human.
That was totally unintentional. Well, I take my hat. If I had a hat on, I would take it off for you, dude, for turning that into a segue. Well done, sir. That was awesome. I seriously did not plan that.
You gave me the ball. I just ran with it.
That's great. I love that. That is so good. And we're rapidly approaching. In the next couple of weeks, there will be an episode that we're going to cover. That's going to be a very personally meaningful one for me. And I'll talk about that more when we get to it. I'm not going to say which one. I'm just going to say it's coming up within 3 weeks. So, is that it? Do you have anything else you want to promote?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so it's coming out on Tuesday, so hopefully you guys are watching and enjoying Super Wonder Legacy, where Britt and I talk about all of the Elseworlds examples of Superman, Wonder Woman. And this week for Indie Wednesday, I may be doing an interview, and I'll be going on Sil Abdul's channel to talk about Tom King's Wonder Woman, George Perez Wonder Woman, and Gotham War. So we're gonna have an extensive comics review episode. And then for Under Two Capes, I'm still going through what I want to talk about. The past episode did good, so we may. Did well, so we may want to talk about other stuff. In terms of Athena, Goddess of Thunder, that's coming along really well, so I'm making progress on that. And movie night, we're talking about Predator. Get to the chopper!
So many good lines.
So on that note, everyone, stay